LLM is the brain. AI agent is nothing without a brain, as a human body is nothing without a brain, right? All these decision making as to which tool to use, what arguments to pass, when to call what, all of these are being done by OpenAI chat model. Does that clarify your question? Okay, the second thing is somebody is asking what is the sequence under which it executes the steps, which is a very valid question. I will double click on AI agent. Do you see this? Take a look at the logs in case you're interested into how the sequence functions. See this. First of all, AI agent it gets called. It first of all checks into simple memory if any such request has come in past. If that request has not come into past, then it has to pass it to the OpenAI chat model. That this is the user prompt. You have to come up with your own plan. Now, what does the chat model decide? The chat model decides to call Outlook directly. Once it calls the output directly, it again the call comes back to OpenAI chat model and it stores the final conversation inside the simple memory. Does that make sense? Now, does it answer your question? Okay, cool. I know you have a lot of questions, all of you, but please hold on to it because I already mentioned it's going to be a long demo. You might have to suffer on your sacrifice your dinner as well. So the pressure is on me as well because I apologize for taking 3 or 4 hours of your time. But please, in the interest of time, I want to provide maximum delivery per minute. That's why just hold on to your questions for a while, and I'll make sure to answer all of those by the end of the session. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So the problem is that we haven't given any system prompt that tells us how to behave. All right. So that's our next step. Okay, let's go here. Let's go here. I have a prompt ready for you, which is a bare bones prompt. We'll improve it as we go. And I'll tell you every single bit of what this prompt means. But just allow me a moment. Let me just copy paste this. Okay. So you see this? This is a user prompt. User prompt is nothing but what the user has requested it to do. User prompt and system prompt differ, right? What is a user prompt? User prompt tells AI agent what to do, and system prompt tells the AI agent how to do it. Do you understand? What is whenever you start to drive a car, what is your goal? You have to drive a car. Now, how you should drive the car? You should drive safe. You should not break the lane discipline. You should maintain some distance. You should not accelerate too much. All of these are guidances. These are system instruction. How to drive a car. That's exactly what system message means. And that is what is going to guide our system. All right. I'm simply going to paste this here and I'm going to open this. Okay. But let's just blindly run this for now. All right. Maybe this works. Maybe this doesn't work. Let's see if things are fixed for us. All right. I'm again going to run the same thing. Let us see if this works. Oh, wow. Okay. See, it has called the get row, this sheets. So now I think it seems to be fixed. Do you want to prove? Does everybody want to prove? Let's see. Okay. Urgent deadline. Reminder for today. Dear Prakhar, just a friendly reminder that today is the deadline for your task. Please ensure to complete and submit it on time. So now we are able to fix it. How? With the help of system prompts. Do you guys feel it exciting? Just comment some mind blowing in the chat if you think it's exciting. It's great. Okay, cool, great. Now, the main part is how did we achieve this? All right. And before that, I'll also prove you that if you take a look at the logs, see this. It's a sequential step-by-step log. First of all, the Google Sheets is called. Then once we have the Google Sheets data, only then it calls, see this, it has fetched the email ID and then it calls the Outlook. See this. Okay, cool. That's just a proof that it works. Okay, now let's get into the heart of how the system prompt works and how you should write a better prompt because an AI agent, as I mentioned, guys, an AI agent is nothing without a system prompt. As I mentioned, you cannot drive car properly without some guidance when you're starting at first. Similarly, AI agents cannot perform at their best if you do not give them good instructions, right? So if you plan to build AI agents, you have to make sure that you have to write very good prompts. And I am going to share some very practical tips with you which I have gained over the last few years working on these agents. Does that make sense? Are we good? Are you having fun? Somebody's asking, can we make voice agent? Yes, you can make voice agent, 100%. It's possible, but that's a little advanced. Even what we are going to discuss today in the session is you might feel it a little advanced. That's why let's take it gradually, step by step. In the next session, we'll exactly learn how to build a voice agent. I promise. We'll learn how to build a voice agent. We'll learn how to build business related workflows. But for now, please focus on a personal agent. All right. Okay. So let's dive deep into what this system prompt is saying and why. Okay. You are a helpful assistant. Just notice your helpful assistant analyze the input to perform the required set of actions. Okay, what are we doing here? First of all, we are assigning the AI or assigning the LLM a role, right? Assigning a role helps LLM understand the context better. For example, let's say if I ask you to join my company and I keep giving you any sort of tasks that I want to, the problem is that you would not be very clear on what is it that you need to achieve. Whereas if I hire you as, for example, an AI generalist or a software engineer, you will have a great context as to what is it that is expected out of you. So that then you can perform and function better. You can tweak your response according to that. That's exactly why assigning a role to an AI agent is very important. Okay. You are a helpful assistant. Now, what is it saying? Analyze the user input and perform the required set of actions. Okay. Now, this part is very important. Okay. This is exactly what we have used to come across, to get across our problem. Remember, early Google Sheets was not being leveraged. Now Google Sheets is being leveraged. And why is it? Because we are specifically saying that you must always look into the contacts database before doing something like creating an event or sending an email, or we can even enhance it, like maybe getting an event from calendar, creating an event or sending an email. All right. You need the person's email address in order to do one of those actions. Never make up someone's email address. You remember earlier it did something called prakhar at the rate example.com. It just made it by itself. We never wanted we never want to give the freedom to create the usernames or Gmail addresses by itself. That is why we are specifically mentioning that never make up someone's email address. You must look in the contacts database tool. All right. And also here is the current date and time. This will be useful if user wants to set up a calendar invite. Let's forget about this one for now. But just tell me if you understand the general picture of how a system prompt needs to be written. Do you understand it so far? Does that make sense? I'll also write some points in front of you in case you still are stuck somewhere. Okay. Let's see this. What are the requirements for a system prompt? What have we discussed? One, assign a proper role to AI agent. Second thing, what else? Assign clear instruction as to what needs to be achieved. What next? Give the LLM enough guardrails. Okay, so these guidelines that you see here, these guarding instructions, this is what we call as guardrails. It's to guard or it's to guide the LLM and what to do, what not to do, right? So basically, give the LLM enough guardrails to understand how to use the tools. Does that make sense? Okay, somebody's saying what will be the result if there is no person mentioned in the contacts? Great question. Let's try it. Let's try it, okay? Let's say send an email to Harsh. Harsh is not in our sheet, okay? So let's try this again. You're right, you're totally right. Let me start this again. Let me click on this. Okay, 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 so it did not send out an email. What is the response of the agent? Sorry, but I cannot find the email for Harsh in the contact database. Please provide the email address for Harsh so I can proceed. Do you see what impact does system prompt have? System prompt has exactly told AI what to do, when to do. So now it does not perform random behaviors. We have made the AI agent more deterministic. Does that make sense? Is everybody interested now? Is everybody having fun? Okay, great. Great, guys, great. Okay, now what next? The problem is, if we say, let's just say, send an email to Harsh reminding about deadline, and my AI agent gets triggered, but I haven't received any message yet. That's not a good design of AI agent, right? I should have received some message here that Prakhar, I could not find an email ID because I'm just waiting. I'm assuming that my email has been sent, but my email hasn't been sent yet. So I also need to configure a Telegram tool, right? Is that correct? Okay, I need to configure a Telegram tool. So I'm just going to drag from here. I am going to create a Telegram tool. Telegram tool, and now you're able to you will be witnessing how simple it is to perform setup with each of these tools once you have learned the whole platform. Okay, see this. I have already created a Telegram account. How many of you remember? I created a Telegram connection here. See this? You remember? All of you remember? So now I do not need to create the connection again. Anytime remembers that connection. I am done. Okay. What is the operation that I want to do? I want to do a send message. I can do other things as well. Send photo, send sticker, etc. etc. But what I am interested in is send message. What is the chat ID? This is our chat ID. Okay. What is the text? We will let the model define it because we don't know what the AI agent response will be. This tool is being configured so that AI agent can send us the response back on Telegram. So we will let AI agent define this model parameter. Okay. All right. So I think our setup is done. Let's execute this workflow again. Hopefully we should get the message here. Okay. We do not get any message. Why? Let's run it again. Let's try upgrading our ChatGPT model. Maybe that helps. Let's see. OpenAI, let's say, what should I use? Maybe I can use GPT-4 Turbo. Maybe. Let me use it again. Maybe Harsha. Okay. So it did not call Telegram. Can anybody tell me why is this happening? Anybody? What are we missing? It should have called, right? First of all, I would also like to draw your attention to something. You are seeing that different models are creating different impacts or different behaviors on the agent. The same model, the same AI prompt did not work when I was using ChatGPT, GPT-4, but it worked when I was at least the Google Sheets got called when I was using GPT-4 Turbo. So how good your agent is also depends on what kind of model are you choosing. So this is also one trick about AI agents performance efficiency, right? It's very much dependent on system prompt, but underlying brain is the model itself. So the better the model, better will be the responses of the AI agent. Okay. Okay. Going back, Telegram number not given. No, that's not the issue. Prompt. Exactly. Do you see? I haven't given any guidelines. I had given some guideline to tell it you have to look into the contact database, but have I mentioned anywhere that you should respond back to Telegram? Have I mentioned? How will it know? How will it know? We have to tell it, right? So always see. I will just add one more system prompt. Always make sure to respond. Wait. Once you have performed the required set of actions. Always make sure to respond back to the user telling about what you did. Okay, now let's see. Now let's see if this works. Okay, let's see. Okay, it still didn't work. So maybe something is going wrong. All right. You know what? We are missing one more thing. Can anybody tell me? I'm slowly introducing these errors so that you know how to build the system from scratch. Okay. So can anybody take a guess as to what we are missing? We have configured the tool. We have uh, configured this system prompt as well. Something is missing, right? Okay, even let's make it more clear. This is, I don't think this is going to fix it, but still, here are the rules that you must follow. Okay, let's just number these. I'm not sure if this will fix it or not, but at least this will keep our prompt structured. All right, let's run this again. Okay, let's see. Okay, it did not work. So that means we are missing something. What are you missing? Okay, here's the time to introduce one more concept. Okay, so system prompt needs to have a proper role which we have given. It needs clear instruction that we have given. It has enough guardrails as well. But also, as I mentioned, that we also need to properly explain what tools does it have access to, right? For example, let's say you're driving a car and suddenly you realize that, your tire doesn't work anymore. So if you do not know there's something called stepney, how would you use it, right? You need to know that you have some tools at the back of your car so that you can use it when your tire goes bust, right? So you need to give in a system prompt, you need to give the AI agent proper list of tools that it has access to and make sure to give proper tool descriptions. Okay. So maybe, you know what, in case of let's say ChatGPT 5, it might have worked, but the reason why it's not working is again, it's undeterministic, but a reason of it not being working optimally is maybe because we haven't provided the exact tool name, right? So for example, let's name it Telegram message sender. All right, let's name our tools properly. Outlook, email, actually just let's name it email sender. Okay. Let's name it contact database. And that's it. Okay. Now let's make sure that we add all the tools here, right? See this. You have access to the following tools: contact database, Telegram message sender, and email sender. Okay. Okay. And also to keep things more clear, let's do something. Okay. Let's do something. I would specifically mention that always make sure to respond back to the user. Okay, see this. Once you have performed the required set of actions, always make sure to respond back. We haven't mentioned anything about Telegram. Okay, so that's my bad, but still, this will help. All right, so I was anyways about to get to this. So this is anyways very important, right? But anyways, always make sure to respond back to the user on Telegram. Okay, I think somebody had spotted this. Thanks for being so observant. It's my fault. Okay, thanks a lot. Let's now try this out. Okay, hopefully this should work. But again, fingers crossed. Let's try this out. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is still not working. Something has gone terribly wrong. Okay. Let's using the tool. Let's specifically mention the tool. Oh, sorry. Tool Telegram message sender telling what you did. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, for some reason, GPT-4 Turbo is not functioning properly. Maybe let's do one thing. Let's try change the model. Let's see if there's something that fundamentally we are doing incorrectly, or you know, we will try to fix it. Don't worry. GPT-5, all right. Let's try this one out again. Let's wait for 30 more seconds. Okay, it has worked. See this. I checked the contacts but couldn't find an email for Prerna. I only have entries for Prakhar of Prachi. Please share Prerna's email address. Okay, so this seems to have worked. Okay, so maybe what we have learned so far is maybe one thing is our prompt isn't appropriate enough. We need to improve that as well. Also, we also have to ensure that we use the a model which is smart enough. All right. If you want to build smart systems, you should be using the best possible models available out there. Does that make sense to everybody? Is everybody clear on this? Okay, now let's try to change our prompt and let's try to see if things work. Let's say you are a smart, helpful personal assistant who is tasked to perform some actions based on the user input. I'm just generally trying to improve the prompt. And just this is exactly how your AI agent building experience will look like. If you think that, Prakhar, you know what, just teach us the tools and we should be done for the day, that's not how it functions. AI agent needs you to repetitively improve your prompts every now and then, fine tune the accuracy. That's exactly the whole procedure. So that's why I'm trying to run into as many errors as we can so that when you start building it, you don't get worried about it, right? Yes, let's update using some other AI, okay? Let's downgrade our model. Currently, we are using GPT-5. Let's downgrade our model back to GPT-4 Turbo, for which it was not working earlier. But let's see. Send maybe Aniket. Okay. Do you see this? Did everybody see what happened? Did you see what happened? Did you notice what change did I make? I made couple of changes. Okay. In case you did not notice, this has worked now with the downgrade model as well. I have made a couple of changes. What are that? What are those? See this. I made a couple of changes. Firstly, I improved the role. I am saying that you are a smart, helpful personal assistant who is tasked to perform some actions. I'm giving it more clarity as to what needs to be achieved. And I'm specifically saying that you are a smart model. So do you now realize the value of assigning a role? Also, I also realize again, guys, there is no proper guide as to how to improve your own system. It's definitely trial and error, right? You see this earlier, this was, you remember, once you have performed the tasks, make sure to respond back to the user. I have removed that first line because I was thinking maybe LLM would have gotten confused with it. So that's why I just removed that and I made sure that the instruction should start with the word always. Always make sure to respond back. So that means when it skims through the rules, it comes across this line and it understand, okay, Prakhar is saying that no matter what, always make sure to respond back to the user on Telegram. So that's why it has worked. It's all about how much patiently can you do trial and error and try to improve your prompts so that your AI agent behavior improves. The same thing if you try to do on your system, you might not get the same results because your prompt might not be up to the mark. Does that make sense? Do you now realize that AI agent is much more than just tool configuration? It has more to do about prompt engineering. Do you now realize why prompt engineering is important? Everybody, is everybody okay? Did you guys follow up till now? Also, let me just save it. Okay, so what all have we achieved till now? Okay, I'll just quickly go to the drawing board. Okay, all right. So this is done. What else? What else? What else? What else? Send message on Telegram. This is done. All right. What is left? The calendars are left. All right. Are you excited? I'm not seeing any responses from you. Can you please let me know if you're understanding it so far? Do you like my pace till now? Yes, I will suggest you some examples as well. In fact, I will just give you a spoiler. I have this whole list of examples prepared for you. Okay, so don't worry. I'll give you example and homework as well. But first of all, tell me, does it make sense to you till now? Okay, great. Let's move ahead. What is our next task? Let's establish our goal. In the next 15 minutes, I want to make sure that we have added two more tools, which is read calendar and set up an event on the calendar. Okay. Okay. All right. Again, setup stays the same. I'll click on this tool. I'll search for calendar. I click on the calendar. Okay. You see this? What is the operation that I need to do? First of all, I would like to read my calendar. Okay. So I would like to get my events, get many, which says that get all the events from my calendar. Okay. I will choose my calendar and I will just set a limit. What does this limit mean? Let's say if you have hundreds of meetings set up for today or for the time range that you give, how many meetings do you want me to fetch? I'll just set it for 10, maybe just 5 for now. And what is this after and before? This tells you the range between which you want to look into the calendar. All right, let me open the calendar to make things crystal clear for you. All right, here is the calendar. Okay, all right. All right, I have created some dummy events for you. All right, this is the calendar for today. Now, you might want to fetch all the events for your week, maybe 15 to let's say 18th, right? So your date range in that case will be start date 15th, end date as 18th, right? But let's leave that to AI, all right? I'm not going to fill in any date range here. See, after what, before what, I am letting AI define all of that. So that way, I am reducing my work. I am putting all of that to AI. But having said that, since we are leaving everything up to the AI, we have to make sure that we make it smart enough with our system instructions. Otherwise, whatever work we're asking AI to do, it will not be able to perform it properly. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Calendar is configured. Now you must be wondering, Prakhar, you did not show us the calendar credential, how to create and establish or connection. But now you know the drill. I'll just click on create, sign in, and I am done. See this. Continue. Done. Okay. I'm done. That's it. That's exactly it. I'm just going to clean. You see this brush icon here? If I click on this, it will just restructure my boxes to make the UI look a little more beautiful. See, I can just drag it like here, here. It's like a plug and play. But if I want to clean it up, I just click here and it will be cleaned up. I can even zoom it up. In case you're not able to see it, I'll zoom it. All right. So now that I have created one more tool, you now know the drill, right? As I mentioned, if you understand the foundations pretty well, things are going to be super quick from now onwards. See this. Uh, calendar events fetcher. Okay, this is our tool name. I will just add this tool name to our list of tools in the prompt. See this? That's it. And if you remember, I have already mentioned some instruction here. Here is the current date and time. Can anybody tell me why this is required? Can anybody tell me what if I remove this? What if I remove this? This is my question to all of you. What will happen if I remove this? The problem is LLM, as I mentioned, it does not have access to internet by default. So what will happen is it will not really know what the current time is, right? You will have to tell exactly. It may schedule event in the past. Exactly. You guys are killing it. Okay. Great. Calendar needs a date. Let's say if I say set up an event with Prakhar Bafna at 8 p.m. First of all, it needs to know 8 p.m. of which time zone. Is it IST? Is it EST? And even if it knows that, it needs to know at what date. Is it today? And what do you mean by today? If I say set up a meeting with Akhara at today, 8 p.m. today, how will it know what today means? Is it 15th October? Is it 14th October? What is it? So if you take a look at this is a pretty small syntax that NetN gives you. You see this? This is a way of saying in NetN's terminology that when you see this dollar now within these curly braces, you don't have to remember it. You will get it online as well. With this, what you will do is NetN will, according to your time zone, it will fill in the exact time here. See this date time. So there are 2 points here. This expression on the left side is what I put here. And there are some dynamic parts here, which is the now part. Now, what will it exactly resolve to? That is what the result tells me. See this? 15th October 7:35, which is the exact time right now. Okay. So that is what the value of this now variable is. Does that make sense to everybody? Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead. Cool. All right. Let me execute this again. What events are planned for me today? Let's see. Let's see if this works. Might not work, it works, maybe. Let's see. All right, we have got some message. You have the following events planned for today. AI automation discussion from 7 to 8 p.m. and AI agents discussion from 8 p.m. to 21. All right. Okay. There is one more thing that it did not fetch, maybe because there was a calendar conflict. Let me try and check. Okay. Um, okay, let me check. Yeah, it's most probably because of that. Let me just delete this and let me create one more calendar event. All right. Coffee meetup, just that. And the time should be, let's say, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. All right. Now let's try to run this same prompt again. Maybe that there was a clash. That's why I did not pick up that one. Ideally, it should have. But let's just run this again. All right, let's see. Okay. Okay, great. So it's picking up everything. All right. I would like to take a pause of 10 seconds and I would like to have your opinion. What do you think? Whatever we have achieved till now, is that good enough? Is that helpful? Do you find it relevant? Are you guys having fun? I'm just going to take a pause of 10 seconds. Okay. Shoot it out. Keep the chat running. Okay, great. And I'm very sorry if I'm not able to answer your questions. I'm trying to look at the chat as much as possible, but in the interest of time, there's a lot to be covered. I'm really sorry if I'm skipping your question. Nothing personal against you, but there's a lot that we need to cover, and I do not want to rush through the content. I'll try to sense the energy of the room. If I feel that you're not able to understand something, I will pause right then and there. I will do some recaps. I will explain to you again. Okay. Okay. So somebody is asking, can we use Teams instead of Telegram? Yes, we can use Teams, but the problem is, again, if you want me to use Teams, somebody else will want me to use Slack or Gmail, but that's where things will differ, right? In the limited span of time, we can't use everything, right? But to show you, let's just confirm, all right? Maybe even I don't know. Let's confirm if we can use Teams here. Team. Okay, Microsoft Teams tool is available, right? Resource, channel, text message. What do you want to create? You create a channel, delete a channel, get a message. You can do anything that you want. Channel message. See this. So the setup is exactly the same. You need to select the Teams list. You need to establish a connection. You need to set up this model parameter. Everything stays the same. So I hope you can now create something of your choice by yourself. Okay. Okay, great. Cool. Thanks. Let's go ahead and add one more tool. All right, let's go ahead. Get your calendar events. That is done. Okay. Now we should set up calendar events. Again, let's click on calendar tools. Now I'm going to make things a little quick, okay? Because now you know the drill. Google Calendar connection has already been created. All I have to do is create an event. Okay. Now this time earlier I was using get many. Now I will use create. It's intuitive, right? If you want to delete an event, you can delete. If you want to create, you can just create. Okay. I will just select the calendar that I prefer. All right. Start date, end time, everything will be by default. Now see this add field. There are a bunch of options that are optional, but you can choose to add these values here. What are these additional fields? Attendees, description, ID, location, summary. What are these? Let's go back to our calendar and take a look at this. Okay. Okay. What is this? This is the summary. All right. What is the event about? Who are the attendees? Prakhar Bafna is the attendee. All right. What else? What else? What else? Location. Let's say, do you have any Google WebEx location, a Google Meet location, Zoom location, the location link, right? You can modify and provide anything that you want. But in our case, what matters to us is the attendees. Who should be attending this meeting? In which case, AI agent should put the value of the person that I mentioned, right? For example, I mentioned Harsh Gupta. So AI agent should first of all take a look into the Google contact sheet. It should then pick up Harsh's ID and should automatically fill in here. Do you understand why I'm doing this model parameter thing and I'm not hard coding these values? Do you understand this so far? If I put this value here, it will be hard coded. I want AI agent to fill in these values dynamically without any supervision. That's why I'm using this construct. All right. Let's add one more thing. Summary. Again, summary, as I mentioned, is this part here. What is the meeting about? So I will let AI agent fill this one as well, based on what I ask it to perform. All right. Cool. Let us take a look. First of all, now let's use the name of Prachi. And because I do not want to send out an email to anybody else, let's do something. I will put in my email ID again. All right. I hope nobody has a problem here. I don't want to send an email to unknown people. That's why I'm pointing this name also to my ID. Okay. Cool. Now let's see. Set up a meeting with Prachi at let's say 10 p.m. today to discuss about N8N workflows, homework. Let's see if it works or not. So it has hit the Google contact database. It has created an event. And now let's see. Okay, see this. I have set up an email. I have set up a meeting with Prachi at 10 p.m. to discuss the N8N workflows. I have also sent the invite to Prachi's email. Let's see. Let's see if LLM is lying. Okay, we haven't received anything yet. What's wrong? What is wrong, guys? What's wrong? Oh, my bad. Why am I looking at email? I should be looking at the calendar, right? Let's look at the calendar. Okay, discuss Anytime workflows. Do you see this? Okay, how excited are you? Can you type in mind blowing in the chat if you think that this is great? If this is adding value to your life, can you type something that lets me know that you are very happy? Did you understand it so far? Is everybody okay with this? I hope the pace is not too quick. Am I going things? Am I flowing with comfort? Is it okay? Okay, great. Okay, so let's check, tick the checkbox here. Set up calendar meetings on your behalf. All right. Let's make this a little more complicated, right? Let's execute this again and let's ask it to do multiple actions at once. Let's copy this and also send an email reminder to Prachi regarding the same. Okay, it says that I have set up a meeting with Prachi to discuss Iniden and sent an email reminder. Let's see. Okay, the event is set up. It has set up another meeting here. It's a duplicate one. That's fine. And okay, so do you see Prachi's email ID was again my email ID, but do you see it has configured multiple actions. It has performed multiple things. Hi Prachi, just a reminder about a meeting scheduled for today to discuss. Please be prepared with all the necessary material. Looking forward to our discussion. Best regards. Guys, isn't this mind blowing? Isn't this amazing? As to how it is able to perform so many tasks autonomously. It is able to look into our contact book. It is able to set up a meeting. It is also able to set up a reminder, send an email, and then get back to us over Telegram. Isn't this super exciting? If you have something like this, it will save so many hours of your day every day, right? Okay, great. So what do we have next? Okay, get minutes of the meeting. Okay, how many of you are excited about this one? Get minutes of the meeting. How many of you are super excited about minutes of the meeting? What is the use case? Let me know in the chat. How many feel excited? Okay, I'm seeing some responses. Great, lovely, lovely. Yes, it's a very important use case. For example, let's say you are attending 10 meetings for today and you don't really remember the exact context or action items, right? In every meeting, you might have some action items from your manager. And at the end of the day, you might just want to report that, you know what, I just want to keep track of what action items or whatever summary was discussed over the call. So it would be great to have an agent that runs every day and gives you the whole minutes of the meeting, what is expected from your end, what is summary, etc. Exactly, will not miss the key action items. So you understand the use of it. You understand that it's very, very important. Its utility is immense. But having said that, as I mentioned, good things do not come in easy. As I mentioned at the start of the session, there are certain things, certain parts of this demo that might make you a little uncomfortable. And this is certainly one of them, right? This is a little challenging, but that's what I'm here for as your host. I will make sure that I break it down into very simple steps, make it very, very easy for techies as well as non-techies. Always think of yourself as AI generalists, right? That way things will become easy. Don't think of it like, oh, I don't know what API is. Don't worry. Whatever is required for this demo, I will teach you. I'm here to do that. You are in safe hands. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. All right. Great. So let's go ahead. First of all, as I promised, I will teach you something called Fireflies, right? What is Fireflies? What is Fireflies, guys? Okay. So Fireflies is a platform. First of all, it's very, very usable across the board. You can use it with Google Meet or WebEx, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and whatnot, right? Fireflies is an AI powered platform that can help fetch, that can help attend your meetings. It can create transcripts from your audio, right? It will join the meeting as a regular person. It will take notes. Basically, it will create the whole transcript of your audio. It can create multiple summaries for you, multiple minutes of the meeting for you, right? It can do anything for you. See this engagement Q&A, for example. I'll just open one meeting for you to make you understand what is happening. See, I created a very sample meeting for you. I just spoke to myself for 5 minutes, and this is the exact transcript, right? See this transcript. It shows you at every timestamp what is it that I spoke. So Prakhar spoke, okay, so hello everyone in the last session, etc., etc. Maybe let's say there are multiple candidates. So let's say there is somebody called Harsh. So this will say Harsh said this at timestamp 54 seconds. Then Prakhar said this, then Harsh said that. It will store the whole transcript, and it will also generate AI related summaries. See this. This is summary. Prakhar Bafna introduced N10 platform, AI agents, what are these, session need, including building an expense tracker and learning strategy, action items, product map, everything. See this? Action items. Prakhar instruct participants to review and practice the demo workflow and AI agent examples independently after the session. Prepare for next session on building a personal assistant. Okay. Yes, it is paid. It gives you very little amount of, it's like a freemium model. You can use it for a while, but it's, I would say think of it as a paid platform because those requests aren't, very generous. So yes, it's a paid platform, but you might ask, Prakhar, if it's a paid platform, why are you teaching us? Because we don't want to use it. We don't want to pay money for it. Fair enough. My job here is not to just teach you the free platforms. My job here is to make you an AI generalist, which means that you should learn the whole ecosystem and then decide for yourself if this tool is required for you or not. Does that make sense? You shouldn't be in a state where you want to use this tool but you don't know how to use it. That's what my job is. I want to make sure, even if it's paid, if it's not paid, I should at least convey the whole and soul functionalities or the concepts to you, so that it's up to you. If you want to use it, you can. If you don't want to use, leave it. Okay. So this is what Fireflies is. It's a platform. Fireflies also exposes an API endpoint. What does that mean? Any other service can programmatically get all the data from Fireflies through the API. Why do we need it? You might ask. You might ask the Prakhar, Fireflies is already giving us summaries. Why do you want to get the raw transcript through an API? Won't that be a waste of our time? Well, yes, if you think about it, you might feel that's waste of a time, but not. Okay. Maybe let's say you have a very specific way of summarization, right? Maybe you see that, get minutes of the meeting, also skip the conversations that Harsh made, just focus on my content. Maybe you might have a very specific request to summarize, right? Or maybe you want to change the tone, right? These kind of customizations, yes, or only get action item from me. Exactly. This will give you very generic summarization. But if you want to work with more specific things, best idea is to get the transcript from Fireflies, and then you can simply just have the AI agent summarize that. Does that make sense? Is everybody clear till now? What is Fireflies? How do we use it? How do we use it? I'll get to it. But do you now understand what Fireflies is? You might ask, Prakhar, how does Fireflies get the transcript? I'll show you. See this platform. Let's say, let's go into our meetings. I'll capture one more. Let's say I capture a meeting. Okay. So it says capture meetings from Google Meet, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, etc. All you have to do is start up your meeting. Just share the meeting link here. It will join your meeting as a regular candidate. All right. Once your meeting ends, it will share the whole transcript. Where do we get Fireflies data? So Fireflies, when it joins a meeting, it keeps taking notes, it keeps adding the transcript, the text of a meeting into its own database, and it exposes to its users by using an API. I hope everybody here knows what an API is. Think of it as a way to get some data from some other platform, right? Make sense? Let's say if I want to get all the rows in my sheet. Either I can open this in a web browser, or let's say if I want to get this data programmatically, I would like to use an API that connects with Google Sheets and asks it for the data of the contact sheet. Of course, makes sense? Okay, somebody's asking, will it be secure for confidential meetings? I'm really glad you asked that. I'm really glad, okay? This means that you're thinking from a production grade perspective. Yes, you're totally spot on. It won't be secure, right? That's a risk that you're taking. But fortunately, N10, currently, if you take a look at here, N10 that we are using is a web app, right? You're using a cloud hosted N10. That is why the data that we use here, right? Let's say Fireflies gives transcripts to N10. It's not under our control, which is your point, right? The data lies with N10, so it's not secure to share our personal transcripts here. Totally correct. But N10 has gone one step ahead to provide you an offline offering, right? What does that mean? The N10 code is available out there on GitHub. You can directly install that code base and spin up a local server in your own machine. Local instance. That way, any interaction you make with Fireflies, Google, whatever, all the data will be remaining on your own system. So if you're very concerned about the security, the privacy of your company, you should install the N10 code and spin it up in your own server. Of course, I will not be covering it here because it's a little more technical and not the whole general audience would want to learn all of that. But your question is valid and N10 has given you that construct. Okay. So you have a way to securely use your data. Is that clear? Does that make sense? Okay, perfect. So how do we make sure we connect to Fireflies? Let's go ahead. How do we make sure? So let's try to search for a tool, Fireflies, okay? That's all we have been doing so far, right? Whenever you want to use a tool, we search for it. I will search for a tool called Fireflies. Okay, Fireflies. Okay, I don't have a tool. Now what? So this means that N10 does not give you a native out of the box integration for Fireflies. All right. So there is some more effort that we have to put in. Let's say when I use Google Calendar, N10 gave you a very native integration. You just have to fill in some fields and you're done. Because Google Calendar, Outlook, these are very generic use cases. These are used by everybody. So N10 has made sure that it provides the mostly used tools. But if you want to use something specific, what you can do is the following. Type for HTTP request tool. Okay, what is this? Makes an HTTP request and returns the response data. What is this? This is nothing but calling an API. Do you understand, everybody? I mentioned that we have to get data from Fireflies by calling the Firefly API, right? Is that correct? Does everybody agree? Okay, so we have to figure out a way to hit the exact API. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's go back to our drawing board because this is going to be a little confusing. I already understand that. So I'm going to make things simple for you. All right. Okay. Tell me logically, forget about AI agents, all that crap. Tell me logically, let's say if I ask you as a human being that your action, your goal, let's say your goal is to get meeting summary. All right, this is your goal. What will be your plan of action? First of all, you will ask me which meeting. All right, make sense? Which meeting? Let's say I give you a roundabout name. Maybe I don't remember the full exact name. I will just say, let's say, what is the meeting name here? Agentic AI KT, right? Maybe I'll just say Agentic AI NADN. All right, because I don't remember the exact name, I don't have to. Now, what's next? I will go to Fireflies. I will try to search for all the meetings available out there. And then I will check if that has the meeting that I'm looking for or not. Basically, what I'll say is I will search, I will open this platform, me as a human. I will open this platform. I will skim through all the meetings. Basically, I'm getting the list of all the meetings. And then I'm checking, oh, okay, this meeting is available. Maybe let's say if you say, Prakhar, I want to get meeting transcript for, let's say, something, let's say, Excel, right? Now I will get the list of all the meetings and I say, okay, I don't have any meeting name Excel. So I'll respond back. I don't have any such meeting. There is no transcript, okay? But, so this is the first step, okay? Which meeting? Get a list of all the meetings and check if the requested meeting is available. So far, so good. What next? If the meeting is available, fetch the data or transcript for that meeting. And then final step, very easy, summarize it. Do you agree? Do you agree? Are we aligned? Are we aligned so far? Okay. Okay. Got it. So basically our action plan is first thing, this is exactly what AI agent has to do. AI agent will basically go to the user prompt and figure out which meeting is the user asking for. So maybe user is asking for agentic AI anytime. Then what is AI agent supposed to do? AI agent should hit Fireflies and it should get a list of all the meetings available out there and then check if the requested meeting is available. Basically, it will try to fetch all these meetings available right here, these 4 meetings. It will check, okay, I think what Prakhar is asking for is available. All right. So it will try to get some unique meeting ID or something pertaining to that particular meeting. And if that meeting is available, it will try to make another API call to Fireflies, right? It will try to make 2 API calls to Fireflies. One, fetch all the meetings to check if requested meeting is available. Second, what is second call? If meeting is available, pick its meeting ID and make another call to fetch the transcript. Does that make sense? I hope this is super clear till now. How we will achieve it, that's up to me. I will just explain that. But tell me, does that make sense to you till now? What is the action plan? What is the intuitive action plan? Does that make sense? Clear? Just a second.